Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. Today's video is the first video about the setups. So let's get started. As we learned in the past videos, we said the bullish weekly or daily storyline, right? The bullish advanced or classic storyline started from our fresh support level or our support trend line, alright? By what? By a bullish breakout, alright? And we said the thing that started the bullish storyline, it's the bullish QM, alright? This is the bullish QM that started the bullish storyline. And this bullish storyline will end where? It will end on a fresh SNR resistance level or a resistance trend line, right? So the bullish storyline, it will end by what? By a bearish breakout for the starting of the bearish storyline and for the ending of the bullish storyline. Right? And we said also the bearish storyline, right, started from our fresh SNR resistance level, right, by a bearish breakout. And by this bearish breakout, the bearish advanced or classic storyline started by a bearish KM, right? The bearish KM, it's the one that started the bearish storyline, right? So this bearish storyline will end where? It will end on a fresh support SNR level or a support trend line, right? So after the bearish breakout, the bearish storyline started, right? And it will end by a bullish KM, right? Bullish KM means a bullish breakout, right? So after this bullish breakout, the bullish storyline started, right? And it's the ending of the bearish storyline. Alright, so in today's video, we will learn the phases or the parts of the storyline. Alright, we will learn the phases or the parts of the direction. Right, the bullish direction and the bearish direction. Alright, so let's start with the bullish direction. Alright, so the bullish direction creates from three parts, right? The first part, it's after the bullish breakout, right? The first part, it's the starting of the storyline, right? The starting of the bullish storyline. And the second part, it's in the middle of the bullish storyline, right? And the last part, it's the ending of the bullish storyline, right? So the bullish storyline creates from three parts, right? The bullish direction creates from three parts. And it's the same for the bearish advanced or classic storyline. All right, it's in the both concepts, the classic and the advanced storyline. Right, so the bearish storyline creates also from three parts. The first part, it's the starting of the bearish storyline, right? The second part, it's the middle of the bearish storyline. And the last part, it's the ending of the story, of the bearish storyline, right? Let me let me explain it again, right? So the first part from the bullish storyline, right? It's on the bullish Kia pattern or it's after our bullish breakout for the bullish direction, all right? And the second part, it's the middle of the direction, right? So it's the middle of the bullish direction, right? And the last part or the third part, it's when the price near from our resistance level or resistance trend line for the bullish storyline. All right. The third part means the bullish direction. It's near right to end by a bearish breakout. All right. And the bearish storyline. Right. The first part, as we said, it's the starting of the bearish storyline after the bearish breakout, right? So the first part, it's always on the bearish key, right? The second part, it's the middle of the bearish direction, right? It's the middle of the bearish direction. And the third part, it's before the price touches our first support or first support as an R level or support trend or support trend line for the ending of this bearish story. Right? May you will ask what I can use these informations for, right? These informations, it will give you the advantage to know which part from the direction that you are in, right? And which setup you should use on each part, right? This will make the thing easy for you. So if you are on the first part, so all your setups, all your buy setups from the first part, it's based on the KM, on the bullish KM pattern, right? It's very easy. So when you are on the first part from the bullish direction, always focus on the setups that you can take based on the bullish KM pattern, right? So the first part from the bullish storyline and from the bearish storyline, all right? Always the first part from these two bullish and bearish storylines, it's based on the KM pattern that started the storyline, all right? Remember this, the first part, the setups from the first part, it's always dependent on the KM's patterns, all right? And the second part, the second part, the setups, the second part and the third part, it's the same, all right? The second part and the third part, it's the same. The setups that you can take from these two parts, it's based on what? It's based on the SNR levels, all right? On our three types of SNR levels, all right? The A-shape level, the V-shape level, and the gap levels, all right? So the first part, it's the setups that you can take from the first part. It's based on what? On the KM's patterns, all right? The second part and the third part, the setups that you can take from it, it's based on what? It's based on the SNR levels, all right? The same with the bearish advanced or classic storyline, all right? The setups that you can take from the second part and the third part, it's based on what? Based on the SNR levels, all right? It's very, very simple. So when you are in the second part, you need to take a trades based on the SNR levels, all right? Don't focus on the keyms that you will find it on the second part, on the third part, all right? By this way, you will know you will know exactly which type of setup you can use, or you have to focus on it, all right? The same with what? The same with the bearish storyline. And there is another thing. The first part have its special setups, right? It's the setups from the KM pattern. It's not the same. You will not find always the same KM pattern on the starting of the bearish or on the bullish or on the bearish storyline, right? I will show you the examples or the setups that you can take from the first part, all right? I will show you it. I will teach you this setup in the next videos, all right? These all the setups that you can take from the first part, right? This is all the cases that you will find on the first type, on the first part from the story line, all right? I will make all the things easy and simple for you. All right, as we said, the first part, it's only for the KM's pattern, and the setups on these two parts, right, has also its main setups. The setups from on the first part, it's not the same with the setups in these two parts, right? The same always with the bearish storyline. The setups that you will find or use on the first part, it's not the same with the setups in these two parts, right? Remember this. And there is one thing also, right? The where the RR of your trades, right? It's not the same with each part, right? For example, if you take your trade from the first part, your RR, the minimum of your RR must be, right, must be 1, 2, 3 RR, right? And the maximum it's with our next fresh SNR level or our next trend line. All right, so the minimum is 1, 2, 3, and the maximum is one. The maximum is one. It's until the next fresh levels. All right, the setups. The error of the setups on the second part, all right, the minimum of it is 1 to 3 RR, and the maximum is 1 to 5 RR, all right, it's 1 to 5 RR. I will show you an example why you should use this RR for your setups, all right? And the last part, the RR of the last part, the minimum is 1 to 2 RR, and the maximum is 1 to 4 or 1 to 3 RRs, all right? This is how you can take your trades simply, all right, without any stress and without any break even, right, to your trades. The same with the bearish storyline. The first part, it's the minimum 1, 2, 3 RR. The maximum, it's until the next fresh level or next trend line. The RR of the second part, the minimum it's 1 to 3 and the maximum it's 1 to 5 RR. The RR of the last part, the minimum it's 1 to 2 RR and the maximum it's 1 to 3 RR. Right? And you are free to use the RR that you find it simple for you or that makes you more comfortable, right? This is just my experience, my experience and my opinion, right? I always want you to take safe trades, right, with a simple setups. Now, which level, right, or what is the level, right, that we can find on the first part, right, for our setups, right, for our setups, and which level that or what is the levels that we will find on these two parts for our what, for our setups. So the levels that we will use in our setups for the first part, it's not the same with the levels that we will use in our setups for these two parts, right? The same always with the bearish storyline, all right? So let's start it with the bullish storyline. All right, so the levels that we will find on the bullish KM that started the bullish storyline are the first part from our direction, all right? It's on the KM pattern, all right? It's on the bullish KM pattern. So the first level, it's the apex, all right? The apex, it's the V shape that breaks the A shape level for the bullish storyline. And the second level, it's the left shoulder, right? We call it LS. And the third type of the level, it's the RBS. RBS means this level was what? Was a support, alright? This level was a resistance that breaks and turn into a support, right? So the first level is the apex, the left shoulder, the third level is the RBS, and the last level is the gap levels, right? You will find one gap level or two or three depending on the KM pattern that you found on your bullish storyline, right? So these are the levels from the first part that we will use for our setups, right? So what about the levels that we will find on what? On our second part and third part for our setups, right? So the first level, right, it's the continuation apex. As we said, the apex, the normal apex of the bullish candle is the V shape that breaks the A shape for the bullish storyline. And the continuation apex is the V shape that breaks the A shape for keeping going up, right? So this is a continuation apex because it breaks this A-shape level. This is also a continuation apex, another continuation apex, and you will find a lot of levels or a lot of continuation apex levels, right? It depends on the trend that you will find on your bullish storyline. So the second type of the level that you will find on the last two parts of the bullish storyline is the RBS levels, right? The RBS levels means a resistance level that broken and turned into a resistance and turned into a support, right? So this is an RBS level, another RBS level, and RBS level also. Or you can say the RBS level is the A shape that got broken with the continuation apex for the price in order to keep continue up, right? And the last type and the third type of the level that you will find on the last two parts for the bullish storyline, right? It's the gap levels, right? And these levels, you will find a lot of it or a few of it because it depends on the trends that will create it inside the bullish storyline, right? So this was for the bullish storyline. For the bearish storyline, it's the same, right? On the first part from the bearish storyline, on the bearish KM pattern that started the bearish classic or advanced storyline, the first level is the apex. The apex is the A-shape level that breaks the V-shape level. It's the opposite of the bullish KM. The second type is the left shoulder, right? The left shoulder or the LS. And the third type is the V shape that got broken by the A shape or the apex, right? And we can call it also the SBR. SBR means support breaks turn into a resistance. And the fourth type, it's the gap levels, right? What about the levels that we can find on our two, right? On our second part or the third type or the third part from the bearish classic or advanced storyline, right? The first level is the continuation apex. This continuation apex is the A-shape level that broken the V-shape level for the price in order to keep continuing down. It's the opposite of this bullish trend, right? So you will find a lot of continuation apex levels, right, and a lot from SBR levels. The SBR levels is the V-shaped level that get broken by the A-shaped level or the continuation apex, right? And the third type is the gap levels, right? The gap levels, and these levels you will find it based on the bearish trend that you will find inside your bearish storyline, right? So this was the basics, right, or the basic level that we will use for our setups. But in the next videos, I will show you exactly how to use it perfectly, right? Level inside level or level that got broken, right? I will show you the setups in the next videos. For the now, right, and also I will show you the confirmations that you will use, right, that you will use on what? On your setups for a better results, right? Now, let me explain this. Let me show you how you can mark this parts on your storyline, right? For you to get the advantage to take the exact setup, right? Or the exact type of the setup that you will find inside each type, each part, right? For example, let's get the weekly storyline, right? As we know, there is a bullish weekly advanced storyline started from this break and retest trend line, right? And so this is the bullish 4-hour breakout for the bullish weekly advanced storyline, right? This is the 4-hour bullish breakout for the bullish weekly advanced storyline. So after the bullish weekly advanced storyline started right here, it will end on where? On the next fresh weekly level, right? This is the next fresh weekly level. Didn't touch on purpose, no, but on Saxo and on that it touched, right? And if you didn't see this level, you can use this break and retest trend line, right, for your bearish advanced weekly storyline, or this classic SMA level for a bearish weekly classic storyline, right? So after this bullish breakout, where is your first part? And this is your first part, right? After the breakout, this is the A-shape level, right? This is the the breakout for this is the bullish breakout for the bullish weekly advanced storyline, right? On the 4-hour time frame. So this is the first part, right? From the bullish direction, right? Where is the second part? The second part, it comes directly after the first part, right? From here to here, right? From here to here. And where is the third part? From the what? From the bullish direction. The third part, it's right here. This is the third part. It comes directly after the second part, right? The third part comes when the price, right? You can take it right here. The third part comes when the price is near to hit our next fresh SMA levels for the switching from the bullish weekly storyline to a bearish weekly storyline. For example, in this example, we got already a bearish for our breakout, and we changed from a bullish storyline to a bearish storyline. All right. For example, imagine that there is no breakout right here, and the price will keep continues down. All right. For this, your third part will be long right here until the next fresh level right here, right? Until the next fresh weekly level right here. Just take it simple, alright? Don't make it very complicated. For example, the first part we said the setups that we can take, it's based on the key and pattern, alright? Where is your first trade? Your first trade is from this what? This RBS level. So the first trade, it's come from the bullish key and pattern. It's very simple. Now, after the price goes up our first part, right? Or we took our trades, what you have to do? You have to do the levels. Uh, you have to focus on the setups that you can take from what? From the SMR levels. For example, this is your bullish your buy trades from the second part of the storyline. This is another trade, right? this is maybe with another trade. All right, and on the third part, we said you can also take your trades from the SNR levels. This is a trade, right? A buy trade right here. Another buy trade right here from here to here. That's where the RR, the more the price keeps continue up to our SNR, to our next fresh SNR weekly or weekly trend line, the RR will be small, right? For example, if you take your trades right here, the minimum we said it's 1 to 3 and the maximum it's next into the next fresh weekly SNR level. And the more the price keeps continue up, the more the RR will be small, right? So this was for the bullish storyline. For example, let's see the example of the bearish weekly storyline and the parts of it. Right, as you know, also there is what? There is bearish weekly advanced storyline that started right here, right? That started right here. So, where is your 4-hour bearish breakout? Where is it? All right. Where is your 4-hour bearish breakout for a bearish weekly advanced? Let's switch to the 4-hour time frame. Where is your 4-hour bearish breakout for the bearish weekly advanced storyline, right? This is the bearish 4-hour breakout for a bearish weekly advanced storyline, right? So the first part, it's right here, right? The second part, where is the second part? The second part, it's from here until here, right? All inside this, all your setups, it's based the SNR levels, not the KMs, right? And where is the third part, right? For example, as you can see right here, the second part, it's very long, and so by this way, you just have to focus on the setups that comes from the SNR levels, not don't make it complicated, right? It's very, very simple, right? So the second part is right here, and the third part is when the price nears from our bearish, from our bullish or our support trend line, right? For the ending of this bearish weekly advanced storyline, right? We said the first on the first part, all our trades is from the KM. It's from the KM patterns, right? As you can see, there is no level that we can take our trades from on the 4-hour time frame. But in the next videos, I will show you how you can switch to the 1-hour time frame for your sell trades from the first part based on the 4-hour KM pattern, or refining on the 1-hour KM pattern, right? And as we said, the sale trades that you can take from the second part, it's from your SNR levels, right? For example, this was the first trade, sell trade. I will show you the confirmations later, right? In the next videos. This is another opportunity with the confirmation. This is another opportunity from here to here, right? This is another opportunity right here. It's very, very simple. Another opportunity right here from this SPR level. All right, it's very, very simple. What about this? This is also another opportunity with the confirmations. What about this? This is another sell trade. Or you have to make it very complicated or focusing on the QM's patterns, trend lines. Just make it very simple and take your trades with the confirmation when you find it, right? Another opportunity right here, right? Another one right here, another one right here, I don't know, from this, right? There is a lot of setups that you can check, right? Another trade right here, another trade right here, another one from this SBR, right? It's enough, right? It's enough. So this is all the setups that you will find, and you will take some of it with the confirmations, right? And there is also a bearish weekly classic storyline inside right here. I remember that, right? I remember that there was a bearish weekly bearish weekly classic storyline inside this box, right? I think that also this was our 4 hour bearish breakout for the bearish storyline, bearish weekly classic storyline, but the price breaks our apex again. So this KM failed, right? This KM bearish 4 hour KM failed, and there is a simple setup for these cases, right? I will show you all of it in the next videos. There is a simple setup, right? Failed KM with what? With our trend line like a confluence. So just take your trades right here, and especially if it's aligned with our SNR level, right? Our SNR level not have a CC or a fresh level. It's right here. It's on this example. Where is it? It's right here, right? So this was our first keying, but it failed by breaking this apex. So just draw your bearish reverse trend line, and boom, you will take your sell trades if it's aligned with our fresh SNR levels or the SNR levels that have a CC content. All right. Just one more thing. This concept or this thing, you can use it on the daily time frame also, right? It's on the weekly time frame, classic or advanced bearish or bullish storyline, and on the daily time frame, classic or advanced bullish or bearish storyline, right? It's very simple. So take care, guys. See you in the next video. See you in the next videos.